You are listening to an exclusive interview on Bass Musician Magazine. The interview starts now.
Hey everybody, Raul here for Bass Musician Magazine, and today we have the great honor and pleasure of having a chance to catch up with the bassist for the Revivalists, George Gekas.
Hello Internet, how are you everybody?
We were just looking at the calendar and it's been almost 2 years since George and I chatted last, and you're welcome to check that out on Bass Musician Magazine. Go back, that's the foundation of our conversation. But George has been extraordinarily busy over the last couple of years, and we want to get kind of caught up and see what's been going on with you and the Revivalists.
Yeah, about when we spoke last time, we had a song of ours catch fire, and it opened up a lot of doors from us, whether it was being able to headline some major festivals and shows, play some late night stuff, and that led into a new album, which we recorded all of last year, and we just released this past November.
Very cool.
It's been busy, and busy is better than not busy.
Absolutely. Well, and I can't even walk by a case of Blue Moon and not hum the tune, so I mean, hey.
Awesome. Cool.
Product recognition. So with that, the studio album is titled Take Good Care.
Yeah.
And just released this last November.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We always have different things we are working on, and we realized for this particular new album release, we kind of wanted to hire and accentuate different producers and what they're really good at. So what we went about was getting 3 different producers from 3 different backgrounds, and we wanted to have them do what they do best in terms of capturing what we do best. So we went to Nashville for a couple of weeks with a great producer named Dave Cobb, who's done a bunch of stuff with Sturgill Simpson, Chris Stapleton, and we really wanted to catch that like big band Nashville sound, ton of horns, a lot of live rooms. So we worked on some songs with him. We worked on some songs with an LA songwriter named Dave Bassett, who's written stuff for people such as L. King. So there's like that pop sensibility coming out of LA that we did some stuff. And then we worked with a producer named Andrew Dawson, who is really big in the hip-hop world. He's done stuff with Kanye West, but he's also done stuff on electronica, stuff with rock bands. And we just kind of threw a bunch of ideas at the wall, and we're able to get these individuals to capture what we are doing together and make it work. And we're really proud of it. We're really excited how it's been recepted by the fans, and we're really excited to start playing some of these songs live, because there's been a handful of them that we are right now figuring out how to take it from the studio version and give it justice in a live format, whether it's going to be in a like in an acoustic kind of session or in an arena to make something really anthemic and drawn out and spread out. So it's fun. It's fun.
You guys are what I would consider a great example of kind of pushing on all fronts, because there's been a lot of internet exposure. I know. Yeah. You guys are hot on the charts. Just this last video that launched in August, All My Friends, it's already had 1.2 million views.
Crazy. You
guys are on fire that way. I'll throw in a one sheet so people can kind of see the stats. They're just beyond memorization, if you will. There's just so much great stuff going on, but we couldn't be happier, because as you've said, busy is good, and being in demand is really good, and that has got you guys on tour as of just last month. Yeah,
we're about to embark on the full tour for the album, where it's spread out over a couple months. So in January we'll be hitting up the Northeast, and then February we'll be going to Europe for a week or so. Wow. And then March we'll be back on tour. April, so look for dates. We'll be all over the country throughout the entire year now. So it's now that the album is done, we're on an on cycle, so we're going to be doing lots of shows, which is great, because we love playing live.
The best place for people to look at that is the revivalist.com?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, I was starting to look at some of the tour dates, and a lot of them looked like warmer weather, but then I saw your Northeast ones. I'm like, well, they're going into
we have plenty more to announce still soon. So, yeah, they're there. We're just not having announced a lot of them yet. All corners of the country, I promise you.
Excellent. I wouldn't blame you for staying in the warm times during the winter at least, but
Yeah. You know what? Today was the first day it's in like the high 40s. So it's kind of feeling like winter here in New Orleans. I got to make sure my hands are nice and loose when I want to practice so I don't get hurt after, you walk the dog and you're not used to being in the cold. You come back in, you want to start playing, you got to make sure the blood's flowing. So just trying to stay on top of it.
Absolutely. And tell us, you've had some updates on your gear since we last talked.
I've had a bass made for the first one here is a Warwick. This is a Streamer LX 5-string that I have made in it's a triple flame maple neck with a Wenge fingerboard. And this is this bass has so much character, man. It cuts through everything. It's really nice knowing when you get to play this that the bass is going to stand out. Maybe not. It's not that it's a forefront or requires you to play anything differently, but it's going to cut through the mix, and it's hard to top anything you can do with a modern instrument like this. It has so many versatile tones in it. I love it. Sounds great live, and I've been playing this recently, and since a lot of the record I was playing out of old P basses. There was a 59, there was a 63, a 65, and some of these songs require more of that traditional Fender style sound. So there's a great bass store in San Diego. Some of you live there, called San Diego Bass, and we were playing a concert there, and I bought this from the shop, and it's a Sadowski, and it's a PJ, and I've absolutely fallen in love with it. So I have the best of both worlds with my super modern, punchy, gritty 5-string Warwick. And then I have this beautiful Sadowski that can handle anything from Motown to funk. Don't get me wrong, this can play anything the Warwick does, but just having the P on it, it gives it a lot of awesome, interesting tones. And they couldn't be different basses, but it's just like my playing. It's all over the place, so it helps.
Very cool. Well, those are a couple of very solid workhorses.
Oh, yeah, man. And these aren't just basses that sit in a storage space when I'm off the road. I'm playing them both home right now for different things, and you kind of got to stay on top of it because they're so different. The necks require so much different dexterity that I find myself, if I play one bass for too long and I pick up the other one, it's almost like a foreign instrument. I got to figure it out again. So I try and keep myself on my toes. And that's besides the other basses I have at home, whether it's my hollow bodies or a Mustang or other things I'm messing around with. I'm just constantly playing, and the OCD bass nerd in us wants to play everything constantly all the time. So I'm just constantly revolving with what I'm doing, whether it's for a particular show I'm doing or if I'm working on sessions and stuff like that. It's just a matter of what the song needs. So I want to be on top of all my instruments in case I get a call for something that's going to require a certain thing.
Any other new additions to your arsenal?
I've been using, I don't know if we spoke at this last time, but Jack from Noble Amps has made the Supreme DI that I'm sure anybody who is probably watching this is well aware. He makes this great tube preamp with two 12AX7s in it, and it's become, I have one pre and I have one post on my board now, and I know guys have been using it at Session Works, and it's just an absolute tank. And now being on ears, it's great to have a preamp that has beautiful tube saturation, just that warm buttery tone going in there, and I use it everywhere I go. Every gig I have that with me as my preamp. So it's great. Those have been the three things that I've been really focused on using. I'm trying to think of any pedals I've been using lately. I have a couple pedals from this maker named Spencer at 3 Leaf Audio, and he's been another guy that has absolutely kind of exploded in the bass scene. I'm using his octave, which is called the Octavaire after Tim LaFave.
Okay.
Custom octaver that I'm sure I tried to buy some more, but Spencer's out right now. I want to get a couple backups, so I've been using that. Those have been my two primary things that I can just if I was on a desert island right now, it would be the 3 Leaf Octaver and my Noble preamp, and after that everything else is just icing on the cake.
Now I know that there's so much happening with the album, the tour, but somebody's always thinking about what's coming in the future. Looking ahead, what plans do you guys have?
We are trying to break into some markets outside of the country. So the plan would be eventually to be able to tour the way we do in the States overseas. So there's stuff like that. We're always working on new music. So we need to figure out now, even though the album's done, all these songs have been not old to us, but we've had them in the back pocket for a while, so to speak. So you got to start thinking about the next record, even though the new record is done. So it's just a matter of being a step ahead of where you are to know where you're going, and just trying to play as much as possible and try and become a better musician, and try and learn and grow and just take advantage of all the opportunities in place for us.
Well, George, we're so thrilled to get this update from you, and we're thrilled with the success the Revivalists has been having. We love listening to the music, and we'll keep an eye out for the tour, folks. Make sure you're checking out the Revivalists.com. See this band live. They are a great show. We've seen them when they were here in the Portland area. It's been a couple of years, about when the last time we spoke.
Like I said, keep your eye out for the dates. We'll be everywhere.
Well, you've seen him here. George Gekas giving us an update on Bass Musician Magazine.
Thanks for bassing out with us here on bassmusicianmagazine.com.